All right, friends, let's talk to John R. Lott now. He is the president of the Crime Prevention Research Center, one of the most influential Second Amendment advocates in the country today. He's testified before Congress on numerous occasions, and he testifies with us right now on America First. Hey, John, good to have you. How you doing, sir?
Doing okay. Glad to talk to you. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, John, before we dive into some numbers, because I know you've been doing a deep dive about crime statistics. You know, Joe Biden has said that crime is down. Kamala Harris has said crime is down. David Muir says crime is down. And yet the statistics don't tell the whole story. I know you've been researching that a lot. We'll dive into those in a moment. But can you tell me, do you think Kamala Harris is telling the truth when she said she's a gun owner?
No, I mean, I wish somebody would have asked her what gun she owns. I wish somebody would have asked her, could she tell you the shooting facilities that she's trained at? At least then it would be possible to kind of verify some things that were there. My guess is her holsters or whatever told her that there was probably a good move to try to do that. But she doesn't understand the gun control laws. She doesn't understand what we already have in place. I was just watching a video earlier where after the Heller decision, which said that there was an individual right to self-defense, she was attacking it. And she had put in an amicus brief there trying to support D.C.'s complete ban on the ownership of handguns. Obviously, she's been the gun control czar during the Biden administration. Biden set up
not only that, John, but this is in her history. This is what makes this so hilarious for her to try to pass herself off as a gun owner. She said on Oprah that she would shoot anybody who came into her home. In 2005, right. She co-sponsored a bill in California when she was the San Francisco DA to ban handguns. Under the terms of that bill, every resident would have to hand over all handguns within 4 months. She lost it in the courts, but she backed it every step of the way.
Right. No, I mean, there's a lot of things about gun bans. She's talked about confiscating guns that people already owned. It's just a long list of things that she has there. She's talked about being able to go in to people's homes without a search warrant to go if they own a gun, just to check on how they've stored it.
Yeah.
So,
we can barge into your house and check on that anytime we want, she said. We have the right to do that. I mean, it's incredible the fact that entire Bill of Rights, as far as I'm concerned, she just thinks is a suggestion. It's like she got it on a Stuckey's placemat or something.
Look, Biden has been the most anti-self-defense president that we've had ever. He's put thousands of gun dealerships out of business over trivial, tiny paperwork mistakes. He's set up a national gun registry. He's revived Obama's Operation Choke Point, which allows the federal government to put pressure on financial institutions not to go and do business with companies that they don't approve of, and has raised their costs and put even more out of business through that. So, and if anything, I mean, Kamala Harris has overseen many of these operations, but if anything, she would push it even further. She was to the left of Biden during the 2020 presidential primaries.
You're exactly right. She would say, hold my Bud Light if she was ever taking over as president. She would say, you think you had gun control? You think you were tough on the Second Amendment? Joe Biden, watch me. John, let's pivot to some of the numbers now. You've got another report out right now from a couple of days ago, the Crime Prevention Research Center website, crimeresearch.org. New 2023 FBI reported crime data is out. FBI data adjusted for previous years. What did you find? What did they find, John Lott?
Right. Well, for the last year or so, we've been seeing headline after headline saying crime is down. People erroneously believe that it's been increasing. Well, that was the data for 2022 that they've been talking about. The 2023 data just came out on Monday. And just like the Biden administration went out and said, we miscounted the number of people who were employed by 818,000. Now they've gone back and redone their data on reported violent crime rather than a 2% drop that they claim and what the media parroted over and over again that supposedly occurred in 2022. they're now saying that reported violent crime in 2022 increased by 4.5%. So rather than a drop, it increased. But the thing is, again, that's just looking at reported crime, but there are other measures of reported crime. The National Crime Victimization Data also has a measure of reported crime, which I think is more accurate, and it showed a 29% increase in reported violent crime in 2022. And, it's just a staggering numbers there. But if you look at total crime rather than just reported crime, what you find is that during the Biden administration, total serious violent crime, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault increased by 55%.
Wow.
That's the largest. That's the largest increase over 3 years that we've ever seen. The next largest increase was in 2006, and that was only 27%. So this is slightly more than double the largest previous increase that we've seen over a 3-year period.
John R. Lott is our guest. He is the president of the Crime Prevention Research Center. Yeah, I mean, reported crime and actual crimes are different things. You and I have talked about this, and you report on it all the time. There is a reporting of crime, there is arrest for crime, there's prosecution of crime. Many of those things have gone down because of decisions made by prosecutors and police officers' unwillingness to go out and be proactive. But the number of crimes that are taking place is a different story. John, can you hang for a second segment?
Sure, be happy to.
Good. I want to finish that topic. Then we want to talk about the tens of thousands of illegal immigrants you were just referencing with sexual assault and murder convictions roaming the streets of this country right now, according to new ICE data. So we'll pick that up with John R. Lott as we continue here on America First.
I'm Seb Gorka. Now let's get back to the show with Bob Frantz.
All right, Dr. G, it is Second Amendment Friday on America First. Bob Frantz live in Cleveland, Ohio, along with John R. Lott. He is the president of the Crime Prevention Research Center. Check his website out, crimeresearch.org. Hey, John, here's a headline for you. Tens of thousands of illegal immigrants with sexual assault and murder convictions are roaming U.S. streets. We are told by the left that, no, the criminal aliens, there's nothing, or not the criminal, but the illegal aliens that are here, no, they're peaceful. They're not as dangerous as the American citizens are themselves. This would seem to say something different. What say you?
It's stunning. This is information that just was released by ICE today. We have 13,000 of these illegal immigrants that are roaming the United States who have been convicted of murder, almost 16,000 who have been convicted of sexual assault. All told, we have 425,000 illegal aliens who are in the country who have been convicted of crimes. Another 222,000 are facing criminal charges. So, I mean, you're talking about about 650,000 that have either been convicted or are facing charges for serious crimes.
All of whom are still free. According to the report, these are people not in detention. So the 425 and the 222 you're talking about here, these people are literally on the streets right now.
Right. I know the Democrats want to claim, they want to claim crimes down in part because they want to say, look, illegal aliens aren't committing crime. We have all these millions coming in and crime's down. But as we were just talking about, crime has been up dramatically. If you look at total crime during the Biden administration, total serious violent crime, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault is up 55%. And is it surprising when you have literally hundreds of thousands of criminal illegal aliens that are roaming the streets in this country?
Yeah, it's a staggering thing to think about. And again, we are told all of the time that, this is a right-wing talking point. It's a trope that illegal aliens mean, well, since they broke into the country, they must be, criminals as well, and violent criminals. And they try to tell us it's not. These numbers are just very sobering. The fact that these are people not even in detention, and these are the ones that have just been caught, and are being charged or have been convicted. So Lord knows how many more there are that are still on the loose, not being charged.
There are two other categories. There are ones who are so-called gotaways, people that we see come across but we don't catch. And then there's a third group, which God only knows how many millions are in that, which we don't even see because 90% of the border agents have been pulled off guarding the border and instead are handling paperwork to get people into the country. So we have no idea how many more, because it's probably the most serious ones who came in without being caught.
John, we got to wrap here, but I want to close with a message I just received from a fan of yours. He happens to be a member of the United States Commission on Civil Rights. Peter Kirsanow says, John Lott is right about everything related to illegal immigrants and crime. That's a pretty good feather in the cap to get a compliment from that guy. John R. Lott, thank you. I'm Bob Frantz in for Dr. G on Second Amendment Friday. We'll be right back.